Let us go to the big one now.
Yeah.
We're going to Ann Arbor, Ohio State at Michigan. The preliminary lines on this, the ones that came out a few weeks ago, were always Michigan 6.5, Michigan 5.5. But when the time came on Sunday to open it up, Michigan 3.5. People are a little concerned about what they saw in College Park, Maryland. This, basically, the home team getting 3.5 or given 3.5 means it's probably a pick 'em on a neutral site.
Yep.
I got to tell you about where we get these lines and these totals. That's FanDuel. Go to FanDuel.com/Staples and sign up. You make a winning $5 money line bet. So basically you say, I think this team will win, and they win. Then you get $150 in bonus bets. So winning $5 money line bet will get you $150 in guaranteed bonus bets at FanDuel, America's best sports book. It's the easiest one to play. You find the game you want. You say, I would like this team to win. I'll take the points. I'll take the money line. I'll take the team total. I'll take the first half team total. I'll bet it live. There are so many ways to play on FanDuel. The app is incredibly easy to use. Few taps and you're in. FanDuel.com/Staples. New customers. $5 winning money line bet. $150 in guaranteed bonus bets. Thank you, FanDuel, for all these lines and totals. Thank you, FanDuel. This is huge stakes, huge everything. Jim Harbaugh's not there. It's the most interesting possible way to play this game.
Yeah, look, please keep betting this thing down. Please, but I don't want to have to buy the point down to 2.5 because I'm not taking anything minus 3.5. I'll take something plus 3.5. I'm taking nothing minus 3.5. Please keep betting it down. I don't trust Kyle McCord. Everybody in On3, love Marvin Harrison Jr. You got a Maserati. Love Ibuka. All right, you got a Lambo. Cade Stover. You even got a Hummer truck or a Tesla truck. That's great.
He's a combine. He's a combine thresher. That's what he is.
Dude, that dude, I love watching him play, by the way. That, talk about a weapon, especially in the red zone. But when I look at Kyle McCord, I just don't think on the road, in the big house, even though this game's played at 11, my time, Central, which I can't stand, I don't think he can make enough plays against this defense. And I think that Michigan is going to be able to move the ball on Ohio State, even though I guarantee you Jim Knowles doesn't play a lot of zero this year after what happened to him last year with the big plays they've given up. I'm sure they're going to just, try and see if they can stop the run with base stuff, match heavy with heavy, and try and stop Blake Corum. But I feel like Kyle McCord makes a couple mistakes. And I know J.J. McCarthy was very willy-nilly with the ball last week. He can't afford to do that. He got his arm strength improved so much. He's like the guy who lost a lot of weight and now just walks around with his shirt off all the time. Like, dude, you don't have to show it off all the time. Like, every chance you get, throw the check down, make the right play. I feel like Michigan just – they're a little more grimy than Ohio State is again this year, though. You got possibly 7 offensive linemen that can go in the NFL draft this year, which is insane. And I always laugh when people are like, and I kind of chuckle to myself, oh, well, Michigan, they haven't played anybody. We really don't know anybody about them. Yeah, you want to know why I know about Michigan? Because I've watched these same guys play for what seems like the last 8 years. Like, this is the same core the past 2 years that went and got shoved in a locker by Georgia, right? A lot of people got shoved in a locker by Georgia 2 years ago. Then last year against TCU, I thought they kind of rolled their helmet out there a little bit, and TCU played the best game they possibly could and lost. But I've watched these guys play. They know what to expect. They know how to handle themselves. I think Kyle McCord makes a couple big mistakes. Marvin will keep him in it. I think the run game will work a little bit for Ohio State, but give me Michigan to cover. And I tell you what, Andy, I would take it all the way up to Michigan minus 6.5. Ooh. I think they're pissed off about this Jim Harbaugh thing, and I think it's slowly becoming the norm to not have him on the sidelines. You talk about manufactured adversity. They didn't even have to manufacture it.
This is game 6 without him on the sidelines this year.
Game 6, I asked Cone today, who played quarterback in Michigan. I was like, at what point does Jim Harbaugh coming back to the sideline actually become a distraction? Like, when does that become the weird thing? So I tell you what, I think Michigan's upset. I think they should be upset in this whole situation. I know it's a rivalry game, and this game's typically close. There's a lot of talent on this field. Give me Michigan by at least a touchdown. I love it. It's one of the best bets on the board, I think. Keep betting it down. Everybody in Ohio, keep betting Ohio State, please.
I'll give you guys a number, 73. That's not a total. I do not
I was
think
about to
this
say,
game's
all
going
right,
to hit
Andy,
that
what
total.
do you know, and why am I about to
No.
start off?
73 is Ladarius Henderson's number. That is Michigan's left tackle. He did not play against Maryland. They went with Miles Hinton. He got hurt. They had to move Carson Barnhart over to left tackle. Carson Barnhart at left tackle has been a problem when he's played there. If Henderson can't go, it's going to severely limit what Michigan can do in the pass game. They're not going to be able to protect that well. If Henderson is playing, they will be able to run their full offense. If they can run their full offense, I think they're fine. Now, I think it looks like McCarthy's a little banged up in terms of his mobility. But if adrenaline takes over and he is the full JJ McCarthy, he's definitely the more dynamic of these two quarterbacks. Now, Roman Wilson, they think he's going to play.
Yeah.
Obviously, Roman Wilson, Cornelius Johnson, not dynamic like Marv and Emeka Ibuka. But you saw Cornelius Johnson be very dynamic last year against Ohio State.
Yeah.
So it is not inconceivable that Michigan could pop a couple big plays. But if this becomes a grimy, grinded out game like we saw Ohio State play against Notre Dame, Michigan's going to win that game.
Yeah.
That's a game that plays right into Michigan's hands.
Mm-hmm.
They've got to figure out how to let Marv be Marv. And I don't know if you can do that against this secondary.
Yeah. I agree.
Because we've seen Marv do this to other teams. And look, we saw him against Kalen King. He destroyed Kalen King against Penn State. So he can do this when he's matched up on somebody good. But I just don't know if he can do this over and over against Michigan or enough to make the difference. So I'm with you. I don't know if I'm as confident in Michigan as you, but at 3.5, I'll take Michigan here. Yeah.
I want to make a point, and it's a great point you bring up about the left tackle. I think a lot of that, and you know this better than anybody. I mean, hell, you did it at a very high level. That's why the run game for Michigan is so important, to supplement that play action game, to slow that pass rush down a little bit for JJ. You know, the best way to protect a tackle that's struggling in the pass game is to be able to run right at pass rushers, or really run in general, to really be able to sell that play action. Because you don't want to live in a world where you got to go help him the whole game, right? Especially in predictable passing downs. That's why staying ahead of the change, staying on schedule. One of the reasons Georgia's so successful, they're in 3rd and 3 the whole game. If they ever even get into 3rd down. So that's a big part of it. I'm sure that'll go into it. But I mean, y'all all know out there, and we know here, if there's any way you can strap it up and go, whether by medical help or spiritual or emotional help, you find a way to play in this one.
It's going to be great. I love just the intensity of all this. It's, I've been to Alabama, Auburn. I've been to Michigan, Ohio State. When both teams are great, it's the same level of intensity, and there's nothing else in sports that matches it. I'm so excited. Cannot wait for this weekend. Thank you so much for watching. Just a reminder, subscribe to this channel right here so you never miss an episode of Andy Staples on 3. And oh, by the way, watch all the other great videos on the On3 Sports YouTube channel.